Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome to Boab episode 6, the season finale. And right in front of you, I have the prize support. And you might be wondering, what prize support? What'd you do, Pack? Well, I got 10th out of, I think, 300 people at this last extravaganza, last remotal extravaganza with the Boab deck. And they shipped us prizing, finally. So what I'm going to be showing you guys first is the prizing I got. Then after that, I'm going to be going through the deck profile, explanation of my matchups, and the overall conclusion to this series, right? Because if you guys remember from like the intro of episode 1, I talked about goals I had, right? Like I wanted to top locals, I wanted to win a locals, I wanted to win a Winamat, I wanted to top the extravaganza, and it's just not just like a regular like top 64. We made top 16, right? So I'm really excited with how the series has progressed, and I hope you guys enjoy. Sit back, relax, and let's enjoy this episode, guys. So thank you all for your support, and we'll get right into it. All right, so Boab. Let's see what the heck we got in here, right? So this is from Shaddoll Games. I use my trusty Field Center to crack this bad boy open. All right, guys, I got it. A little bit of training at the UA gym, and we got it. All right, guys, gonna take it out. Oh my goodness. All right, so here it is, guys. Our Nats 2016 or not 2016. Why did I say 2016? 2020 playmat. This is the mat you get from getting top 16. We also got some packs. I entered only one Winamat, which cost 12 bucks. And this is the mat I won from the Winamat using the Boab deck. And what's crazy with this is that it gave us free entry into the main event. So I saved like $8 to play in the main event because I paid $12 for the Winamat using the budget, and then that got me free entry into the main event. So I basically played the main event for free, which is like awesome. What kind of packs did we get? Ignition Assault, Savage Strike. Not too bad, not too bad. All right, guys. But before we jump into the deck profile, also let's open the packs and see what we get, right? So okay, let's see it. We're gonna open with the first pack. Let's see it. We got Daruma Dropper, Guard Ghost, Megalith Emergence, the Witchcrafter Gemini, Arcjet Lightcrafter, and then nothing else good in here. There's a Lightning Storm and Ignition Assault, so maybe if we get lucky we can pull it. Megalith cards. Oh, Abomination on Jay's Soul. Shout to, I guess, Kevin, our coder. We got Leader, Charge Up, Karakuri cards. Oh, we got a secret. Oh my god. Ignister AI Land. That's pretty cool. We got a secret, guys. Pog. Okay, let's see what else we got. Alright. Gravity Controller. Oh my god, guys. Guys, you guys already know how broken Gravity Controller is in Boab. Udgarda. Archfiend. Okay. Okay, let's see what else. Nines Lives Cat. Ignister. Ooh, I needed this actually. Ophiel. Oh, Pog. And Earth Golem at Ignister, so super poly target. Wind Pegasus Agnister. Really good card because you can actually use this with punishment or Nadirs, and it protects your, it like basically punishes your opponent for destroying cards you control. Let's see what we have in Savage Strike. Shiranui, Redoer, good card. Wow, are you kidding me? Guys, I'm just insane. We pulled Savage Dragon. Wow, what an insane pull. All right, guys, so these are the notable pulls. So we pulled Agnister AI Land for around $15. These are all first ed packs, so they're worth a little bit more. And then we have Savage Dragon, which is around like I think $11 to $14 for first ed. I gotta look at it again. We got Gravity Controller, which is a card we definitely wish we pulled earlier. We got the Earth Golem Agnister, and then we have the Wind Golem. The Earth Golem is really good because it's super poly target. So that's something we can keep in mind for the future episode. And then the Wind Pegasus is really strong because it has guard has synergy with punishment and has good synergy with Maximus. So it's something that you can send so that if your opponent destroys a card you control by battle by card effect, you can shuffle them back into the deck. And then, of course, Gravity Control is just like a really good card. And it's always nice to have a second copy of it in case you ever need it. But, I mean, this is really good, right? Like, the other holos that I was looking at aren't that notable. They might be worth a couple dollars here and there. But we'll probably sell the rest of these stuff and keep some of the good stuff for future use. Overall, really good pulls. And basically cover our entry, right? Because all of this was, like, we paid $12 for, which is kind of insane. Right? Like, basically balling on that budget. You know, $12 for the winning mat, get all these nice packs, and then after topping the top 16, we get two play mats, right, which are definitely worth a lot. I think this play mat's around like maybe 200 something, maybe 250, and the other play mat's worth like $100. So basically like $350 in value right there, which can definitely get us like, you know, a play set of Lendir Servants if we want to like make our deck even better. But like I said, this is definitely the season finale. I think like I did and accomplished what I hoped to do with the series, and yeah, we'll have a season 2 soon, so definitely expect that. And we'll go right into the deck profile of what I played. So we'll start off with the main deck. Something stayed the same, so we played the same Shaddoll ratio of 3 Wendy, 2 Squamata, 2 Hedgehog, 2 Ariel, 1 Dragon, 1 Beast, 1 Falco. So the same standard lineup that I really like for pure trap Shaddolls. Nothing else to really say about it. And then the only hand trap I decided to main deck was Nibiru, mainly because it was a light monster in the main deck that I can send off Shaddoll Fusion. It was a monster that I can hard draw to L Shaddoll Fusion with. I can also like nib my opponent, and Nibiru doesn't tribute face down monsters, so it's just like really good hand trap. I expected a lot of virtual this event, so I think maining Nib was the right call. For spells, I played 3L, 1 Shaddoll Fusion. So I played 3L mainly because it's very reactive. It lets you OTK your opponent. It lets you play around back row. So I really like this card. I dodge a lot of stuff, and I outplayed a lot of people with activating L. I just love the fact that it's a quick play spell. Be able to like interact reactively to your opponent. Only 1 Shaddoll Fusion because I don't think it's that good this format. Mainly for the reason that, you know, against the Ultimateness board against Ruler, it doesn't do anything. The Shaddoll Fusion against like Virtual World, you're getting VFD, so it just doesn't accomplish as much. So that's why this card is at 1. You search it when you need it, and so yeah. There's only one time where it came up where I needed a second one, but for the most part, I think 1 was fine. Next, the other best spell in the deck, 3 Super Paul. This card was amazing. I really like this card. I think this card was insane for me. It won me so many of my matchups. It made all the Alec matchups like complete auto wins. I love this card. I have nothing else to say about it. I think it's really, really strong right now. And yeah, it just like destroys like so many decks. I remember like I Super Poly my opponent's Numeron because it's a light monster like during his turn, because obviously he would Zexal during my turn. So it's just like really, really strong card. I have like no regrets. I really like this card a lot. The last card I decided to play, which is a spell card, but I considered it a trap card, which is Call by the Grave. I put in Call by the Grave because I also wanted a card that was really strong against Ditrons. When I went first, that was a trap card that also didn't lose to Red Reboot. And this card actually won me my Ditron matchup, round 7, I believe. So I really, really liked, round 6. I'm sorry, no, wait. Yeah, round 6. So I really like this card. Came super clutch for me. It's not really like to stop hand traps. It's mainly for the defensive utility that it has. It's basically a trap that's a spell, is the way I looked at it. And then for trap cards, 3 Shadow Game, 3 Torrential, 3 Needle Ceilings. As you guys know, I bought 1 more Needle Ceilings around like 50 cents. Pretty solid. The Call by a Grave was like $1 for the ultra rares. The Nibrus were, I think, 11s each for the gold rares. To give you guys a little bit of context, how we got money to fuel a lot of these purchases is, if you guys remember in episode 3, I actually won locals and I won a win-a-mat off of that. So that mat I sold for 80 USD, which helped us fund a lot of cards. And then we got $100 from topping the PPG last episode. So that's how we got around 180 USD just from the series alone, just from playing the deck and topping and doing well. 3 Dynamis. Dynamis is very strong. Ceiling was insane because I expected a lot of Virtual World. So I wanted to make sure that I had a lot of blowout for Virtual World. So these were the traps that I really liked. And yeah, 3 Dynamis. It's like just amazing utility. Shadow Game is a consistency card. And then for the traps, to continue, I played 2 Resh. I played two Resh because I wanted to have synergy with Trap Trick. And also, like, having 2 Resh is really nice because it means you can banish it and then not worry about having a second one in the graveyard. I like Resh a lot too because if your Schism gets banished, you can then just activate Resh to continuously summon back your fusion monsters without actually fusion summoning. And then the last 2 Shaddoll spell traps were Shaddoll Core and Schism. I like both of these. Core actually won me one of the games because I activated Core and then triggered my Torrential. Core also allowed me to get an extra body for Needle Sealing. This card also like won me a game because it lets me continuously loop El Shaddoll and Winda, and then my opponent just couldn't beat that. So I really like this card a lot. I definitely really thought this card was insane. There's actually also one game where like I outplayed my opponent by activating Shaddoll Fusion, and he had a Pallades, and I basically sent a Shaddoll. So like when I activate the Shaddoll Fusion, I sent a Shaddoll Squamata and a Nibiru. Then I triggered Construct and Squamata, and I sent Shaddoll Core and no, it wasn't Shaddoll Fusion. I'm sorry. I activated El Shaddoll Fusion to make Construct with Nibiru and a Squamata. I activate Construct and Squamata to send Shaddoll Core and Shaddoll Fusion. And then I activate Core Effect to add back the Fusion. Then I activate Shaddoll Fusion, and he chained Pallades to bounce it himself back to the extra deck. So Shaddoll Fusion will try to resolve as much as possible, but I can't use monsters from the extra deck. I mean, from the main deck. And then I just use Construct on my field and then Aerial in my hand, and I banish his entire graveyard for Elec Engine, and then he just like lost the game from there. And that actually won me and secured me into like the 10th place for the Invitational. So that was really dope. So 40 card clean. I really like the cards in the main deck. I think it was like pretty solid for the budget version. For the extra deck, I have Gravity Controller, Artemis that we bought from last episode, Shaddoll Construct, the Link Monster, Cross Sheep. Celine was a new addition. I got this card for $9. I wanted to play the access code version, and to be quite honest, I only summoned this card once. It like only came up once for me to like make access, but other than that, it didn't really come up. We have Sword from the Seers, and then of course an $80 card access code. Thankfully, because we did top the PVG, it allowed us to buy this card. And I mean, this card came up for me once, but more often than not, I could have just summoned Boral Sword and won also. There was only one time where access code was exact game because he had 5,200 life points, because he got hit by Construct the turn after, and I had to make this to like game him. But other than that, I didn't need it. Then we play like triple Winda because this card is absolutely bonkers. I played 2 Apollonia because I didn't play Punishment, so 2 was fine for me. And then I played triple Construct because this card is absolutely insane. Not once per turn, recurs your resources, and then can dump anything from your deck to the grave. So it's just really strong. And that wraps up my extra deck. For the side, 3 Gamma and Driver. This was around, I think, $7 for the entire package. Amazing hand trap going second. It's just so good. It won me like so many games. I really like Gamma. I think it's a light monster too. I won 2 games just off fusion summoning, like using like L to like fuse off the Driver. So it's just like not a bad hand trap at all. And I really like the fact that it's a light monster. Lancia, because I expected a lot of Virtual World. It's also a light hand trap. Recycle Readers. So yeah, these were like, I think less than maybe $2 for a playset of common Lancias. Catastrophes were a playset for about $20 US. It was really good. I just wanted to respect the Diatron matchup. Only play against one. And I won that matchup because of this. So really happy I played it. And then I played 2 Droll. So basically making sure that I have 5 high impact hand trap, which gives me a high chance to draw 1 post side into like the Diatron matchups. And I like this. Droll is also very versatile. That can also be put into the virtual matchup, which I expected a lot. But I was like, didn't want to overside for the virtual world. I think like putting these 6 in with Nibiru in the main, put in 2 more Droll that gets you 11 is like still really good. And then the last 3 cards I played were 2 Cosmics and 1 Heartbeat for the back row decks. I think this deck already has a good time against back row, so I wanted to side predominantly for like combo. And so the only thing I sided were 2 Cosmic and Duster. I think Duster are like, I think $7. I could be wrong, and Cosmics are like pennies. So like 2 for like $1. Mainly just to like respect some back row deck. I mean, I never drew Heartbeat, never drew Cosmic, so I have no idea how these would perform. But I just beat the trap decks anyways without them, mainly just because the engine already beats trap decks. And then Cosmics are also hypothetically really good because against Virtual, I would side this in going first, because the only way they out your window is Qinglong, and you just Cosmic the Qinglong. Cosmic Chuche, like this card is just really strong. And that pretty much wraps it for the deck profile, guys. And now I'll talk to you guys about some of my matchups and my overall thoughts about the tournament. All right, yo, what's up, guys? Welcome back. Now we're going to be talking a little bit more about, like, some of my matchups. So I played against Virtual World round 1, 2, and 3. And, I mean, a lot of my main deck choices really helped me in, like, against these matchups, right? So I had, like, Needle Sealing, Torrential, Trap Trick. So I basically 7 versions of, like, blowout traps. I also main deck Nib. There was actually one game where the guy played around my Torrential, so I nibbed him. He tried to extend, then I Torrentialed him, and yeah, and then I chained L to make Construct, and then yeah, I just lost the game. So there's like a lot of like just insane plays I was doing. A lot of the cards that I had in my main deck were prepped for Virtual World, and the fact that I played all of them early was good, I guess, because a lot of people didn't play Virtual World again in this event, which is really funny because I got paired up against all the Virtual World players, but it's good. They basically got knocked out. So you guys didn't have to play them. So yeah, you're welcome. Round 4, I played PK Fire. My opponent DC'd game 1, and so he got a game loss, but I think he was already losing anyways because I went second. He made a Dragoon board with like Fog Blades and stuff, but then I super polyed him and had Dino Miss for basically his like Fog Blade, so he couldn't stop Winda, and then he just lost the Winda. But yeah, he just like DC'd, so I mean he just lost game 1, unfortunately. And then game 2, he made me go first. I played very conservative. I set 1 pass, Shaddoll at his end phase, and then I OTK'd him on the following turn. So that was round 4. So I was XO1 at this point, and I played against MBT Zulich deck. Round 5, he was 4-0, I was 3-0-1, and then yeah, I mean the match 1 I misplayed, or game 1 I misplayed. I tried to Dino Miss his Ram, or Ram was underneath the Zoo Monster, so I basically threw the game there, and then he Zeused me, so I just scooped. And then game 2, I aerial effect, banished all his Golden Lore, banished all his things, super polyed him, like, yeah, just savaged him, like, just because, like, super poly is insane. And then, like, aerial just destroys his entire deck with Dino Miss. And then game 3 was basically the same situation. So I took that match. 4-0-1, 4 wins, 0 loss, 1 tie going to round 6 against Dytron. Dytron was really rough. I think he won RPS, and then I just auto-lost game 1. I immediately scooped and made him think I was actually playing Virtual World by saying I was breaking and all this good stuff. So he thought I was playing Virtual World, sided in like Lancias and all that good stuff for me, which was nice because I wasn't playing Virtual World. And he lost game 2. Because Winda's insane. And then game 3, I gammaed him and then Psycho Readered him, and then we got to like a crazy grind game where he literally rebooted me and still lost because he didn't make Zeus and went and made a Ultimateness and get instead, and I broke through the Ultimateness, made Construct, and then I just won from there. And then round 7, I was, I think, 5-0-1 at this point, and I played against Numeron. And I got absolutely bodied. Game 1, I got Lava Golemed, rebooted Lightning Storm, Numeron like Field Spell, and then I died. And then game 2, like, I actually was in a position to win. He top decks Duster, and then I died. Yeah, so I just lost. So that was, I went X1-1 at this point. And then round 8, the deciding match to determine whether or not I would make it, I played against Numeron Dragoon Elik. Game 1, I won, even though he Zexled me when he won RPS. He thought I was playing a combo deck, I guess, but then it turns out I set 4 pass. And what I did was he Zexled me, I passed turn, and then I super polyed at end phase, made Construct, and then just won. Game 2, we had a crazy grind game, and then, yo, he top deck Duster, so you already know I was not winning. And then game 3, it was like, I had like 100 life points left. And the only reason I won was because I played around Droplet by activating an L, using my gravity controller to summon a Winda in defense mode. And yeah, and so I played around Droplet there, and when he did Droplet my Construct, I took, I think, basically 1,200 damage, and I was at 100 life points, and so I was able to survive. And then, yeah, I just outgrinded him, and then was able to win that match. So, I mean, overall, I went X1-1 and got 10th place. I think this was insane. It was an absolute blast playing this deck. I had a lot of fun. I definitely did not expect to make top 16, right? The harder part of like the event, but I'm glad that I did because, like I said, I want to be able to show you guys that even, you know, without infinite dollars, you can still play competitive Yu-Gi-Oh. You can still enjoy this game. You can still compete, and you just got to put in the time and the hard work to, like, you know, really learn your deck as well as like understand the meta, right? Because if you play a deck like Shaddoll's, you need to have a very strong understanding of your opponent's deck as well as your own. You have to understand first of all, how capable or what your deck is capable of, and then you have to understand what your opponent's deck is capable of, and then be able to like play against that. I guess the other important lesson here is also like being able to figure out what the meta might be, and then making meta calls, and then buying the right cards to like make that adjustment, right? For example, Needle Sealing is like still a very cheap card, but a very effective card into like the virtual board, especially if they're not like, if they're like an average virtual player. Like blowout trap cards are really strong against that, and like maining Nibru is my only hand trap for not being just a light, but also a hand trap that can like blow out your opponent. So just like that kind of like, you have to like develop a lot of skills, right? Like deck building, technical play, and all that good stuff, but it comes with time. But you can still do it, right? Like you can still develop your skills. You can like save up that $10-15 like I did every week and keep playing. And who knows, right? Like as you continue to get better with the deck, you'll win tournaments, you'll get good prizing, you'll upgrade your deck, you might eventually sell your deck and get other decks, and that's going to be what season 2 is going to be about, guys. So season 2 is going to be more focused on that, technical play. It's going to be more focused on deck building. It's going to be more focused on now I don't want people to make the excuse that, oh, like Pac was able to do it because he's good at the deck and he knows what he's doing, he's a good player, blah 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 blah. I want it to be more of like, if I can do it with a budget deck, I think anyone can do it. And so like season 2 is gonna be, I'm gonna be bringing someone on. I'm actually gonna give this entire deck to someone to pilot this deck on for me, and I'm gonna be coaching that person, and then talking about deck building, card choices, like disruption and all that good stuff, so that it's not just me doing this, it can be you as well.